Making the headlines tonight. Prime Minister Hun Sen congratulates the Kingdom of Cambodia on the tremendous progress made in preventing the spread of HIV/AIDS on World AIDS Day. Prime Minister Hun Sen meets with the Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, discussing the importance of bilateral, regional and international cooperation. Cambodia is experiencing cold weather for a week, with lowest temperatures expected at 15 degrees Celsius. The Arab Cup finally opens in Qatar in preparation for the World Cup. And a former military pilot flies into an active volcano in Chile, wearing a wingsuit. This is the Daily Roundup on the EAC News Channel. A very good evening to you. My name is Paolo Bonini. Prime Minister Hun Sen has released a statement on behalf of the royal government of Cambodia to announce Cambodia's observance of World AIDS Day, which is being held this year under the theme of End Inequalities, End AIDS, End Pandemics. World AIDS Day is held every year on December the 1st to raise awareness of the AIDS pandemic. The day offers an opportunity for people around the world to unite in the fight against AIDS, show support for people living with HIV, and commemorate those who have died from AIDS-related illnesses. EAC News reporter Dushana Gochan has the story.
The Prime Minister has congratulated the Kingdom of Cambodia on the tremendous progress made in preventing the spread of HIV/AIDS. He has called on all national and international partners to continue efforts to end the HIV/AIDS epidemic in the country. Prime Minister Hun Sen has outlined a list of accomplishments Cambodia has made on the fight against HIV/AIDS to commemorate this World AIDS Day. These accomplishments include Cambodia successfully achieving its goal of 90-90-90 in 2017, which indicates that 90% of people know their HIV status, 90% of diagnosed are on antiretroviral therapy, and 90% of those receiving antiretroviral therapy are virally suppressed. He further stated that Cambodia has been recognized for having a coverage rate of 83% for HIV/AIDS care services, which is a higher rate than major countries in Asia, such as China, India, Thailand, and Vietnam. The Prime Minister also highlighted the successful implementation of a program intended to provide financial support to poor and vulnerable families during the COVID-19 pandemic, which saw 1,974 HIV-positive families receiving over $125,000 between June 2020 and July 2021. He continued to say that Cambodia has become a frontrunner in the changing face of AIDS programs, since the country has gone from relying solely on external assistance to now having a more self-reliant, resilient, and sustainable AIDS program, thus setting an example for other countries to follow. The Prime Minister emphasized that Cambodia almost reached the global 95-95-95 target in 2020, despite going through the COVID-19 pandemic. In the spirit of achieving the 95-95-95 goal by 2025, the Prime Minister announced the main policy of the royal government is to focus on measures to end inequality, end AIDS, and end pandemics by expanding the coverage of medical services and support to people living with HIV, including the implementation of the 6 measures outlined in Letter 213 of the Office of the Council of Ministers, dated 21 February 2021. Darshana Gochan, EAC News.
The First Lady of Cambodia, Bun Rani Hun Sen, has released a statement on behalf of the Cambodian Red Cross in observance of World AIDS Day. She has said that she is pleased to join the royal government, HIV/AIDS activists at all levels, and the public in commemorating this important day. She says that the Cambodian Red Cross, the National Outstanding Elite Team, and the 25 Outstanding Elite Team at both capital and provincial levels continue to provide support and encouragement to people living with HIV/AIDS through the provision of food, shelter, education, healthcare, and financing for businesses, as well as through the dissemination of knowledge and education about HIV and the importance of using antiretroviral drugs. She has added that they are promoting 3 priority projects: which are the provision of HIV prevention services to young people and the wider community, especially for the prevention of mother-to-child transmissions, providing social support to people directly and indirectly affected by HIV/AIDS, and providing services to reduce and eliminate all forms of discrimination against people living with HIV/AIDS. She has also called on the private sector and philanthropists from all walks of life to continue partnerships and providing support to the Cambodian Red Cross to contribute to the royal government's goal of achieving zero new HIV infections, zero AIDS-related deaths, and zero discrimination by 2025. Prime Minister Hun Sen has virtually met with the Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida on Wednesday. The two prime ministers have discussed the importance of bilateral, regional, and international cooperation. Prime Minister Hun Sen has hoped that the Japanese Prime Minister will attend the ASEAN summit next year, which will be hosted by Cambodia. ENC News reporter Ria Soka has the details.
Prime Minister Hun Sen has thanked the government of Japan and its people for their continued support to Cambodia's development. The Prime Minister has specified about Japan's assistance in the fight against COVID-19. The Japanese government has provided vaccine, ambulances, and other medical equipment to the Kingdom of Cambodia in the middle of COVID-19 pandemic. The Cambodian Prime Minister says Cambodia is a loyal friend of Japan. Prime Minister Hun Sen and Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida have recalled the cooperation history between the two nations. They remember the deployment of Japanese peacekeepers to Cambodia in 1992. Prime Minister Hun Sen has also asked his Japanese counterpart to continue to support the training of Cambodian students by providing scholarships and continue to encourage more investors to come to the kingdom. He has also requested to Prime Minister Fumio Kishida to continue promoting the cooperation between Japanese and Cambodian peacekeepers, especially in providing training for the Cambodian peacekeepers. On the Japanese Prime Minister's side, he has reaffirmed his readiness to support and cooperate with Cambodia in hosting ASEAN Summit next year. Since 2023 is the 70th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Cambodia and Japan, and also the 50th anniversary of Japan-ASEAN friendship, both prime ministers have agreed to organize a program to commemorate these two anniversaries. Rhea Soko, EAC News.
The Indonesian Foreign Minister, Retno Marsudi, has paid a courtesy visit to Prime Minister Hun Sen at the Peace Palace on Wednesday morning. The Foreign Minister arrived in Phnom Penh on Tuesday afternoon for a two-day official visit to Cambodia. The visit was made at the invitation of the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Prak Sokhonn. EAC News reporter Deshana Gochan has more details.
Minister Delegate to the Prime Minister Kao Kim Hoon has confirmed that Prime Minister Hun Sen and the Indonesian Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi discussed the resumption of flights between Cambodia and Indonesia since Cambodia has now reopened the country. The Indonesian Foreign Minister expressed her appreciation for the good relations and cooperation between Cambodia and Indonesia, and also stated that she considers the 88% vaccination rate against both COVID-19 and measles in Cambodia to be a high rate. After meeting with the Prime Minister, Indonesian Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi also met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs Prak Sokhonn to discuss aspects of bilateral relations and cooperation, including Cambodia's priorities during the upcoming 2022 ASEAN chairmanship. The Cambodian Ministry of Foreign Affairs has expressed that they expect the official visit of the Indonesian Foreign Minister will continue to strengthen and deepen the long-term relations and close cooperation between Cambodia and Indonesia in both bilateral and multilateral frameworks for the mutual benefit of both nations and the world. Darshana Gochan, EAC News.
Once again, Cambodia's daily COVID-19 numbers stay around the 20s. On Tuesday, there were 4 less cases than Wednesday. Today, 26 cases were reported. That includes 4 that were imported. Cambodia has a total tally now of 120,160. 22 patients were successfully treated and discharged overnight. That makes a total recovery rate of 116,529. But sadly, 4 people lost their lives due to COVID-19. According to the Ministry of Health's announcement, 3 of them were unvaccinated patients. Cambodia's total deaths since the beginning of the pandemic now stands at 2,944. The kingdom's active cases are now only 687. The newly appointed French ambassador in the Kingdom of Cambodia, Jacques Pellet, has paid a courtesy visit to the Cambodian Foreign Minister on Tuesday. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Prak Sokhonn, has warmly welcomed the French ambassador, thanking France for its significant contribution to the multi-sectoral recovery and redevelopment of the Cambodian economy, especially in the fields of education, health, justice, agriculture, tourism, and other sectors. EAC News reporter Ria Soka has more.
Foreign Minister Prak Sokhonn praises France as the key architect who contributed to the achievement of the Paris Peace Accords. He says the congratulatory message of the French Minister of Foreign Affairs, Jean-Yves Le Drian, has meant a lot, confirming the close relationship between the two countries, which is developed on the basis of strong and lasting friendship, as well as the common history between Cambodia and France. Ambassador Jacques Pellet has said that he is honored to fulfill his diplomatic mission in Cambodia with great pleasure. He has commended the royal government of Cambodia for its effort in the fight against COVID-19. According to the ambassador, the vaccination rate in Cambodia is among the countries with the highest vaccination rates in the world. At the same time, the ambassador also praised the successful organization of the 13th Asia-Europe Summit. He has said that France is committed to further strengthen and expand the existing friendly relations and cooperation between the two countries to be closer and better in all fields effectively. French Ambassador Jacques Pellet has added that as the rotating chair of the Council of the European Union in the first half of January to the end of June 2022, France will hold a ministerial forum on regional cooperation Indo-Pacific on 22 February 2022, inviting all European Union foreign ministers and foreign ministers of Indo-Pacific countries, especially Cambodia, the chair of ASEAN, to participate in this forum, which will discuss key topics. It will highlight on security and defense, connectivity, and digitalization and global issues such as climate change, biodiversity, and marine health. The two officials have agreed to provide mutual cooperation to strengthen and expand closer and better relations and cooperation in the bilateral framework, as well as the two regional organizations, in particular when Cambodia is the chair of ASEAN and France is the rotating chair of the Council of the European Union next year. The French side is preparing to hold a joint event to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries in 2022. Raya Soko, EAC News.
Cambodia is proudly hosting the 7th East Asia Summit Conference on Maritime Security Cooperation 2021 in Pria Sihanouk Province. The summit is being held in the kingdom under the theme Creating a New Decade for the Well-Being of Human, Ocean and Economy, starting Wednesday until Thursday. The conference will mainly focus on development, conservation, sustainable marine management, green economy management, and scientific research. It also includes the Ministerial Forum to map out marine conservation and development, taking into account the well-being of the oceans, people, and economy from 2021 to 2030, as well as the action planning for the subnational administration of the member countries. Spokesman for the Ministry of Environment, Net Petra, says that the main objectives of the Maritime Conference, including sharing lessons learned through experience, monitoring past work progress, and expanding the implementation of the strategy, as well as the executing of regional, national, and subnational levels. Second is to establish and re-establish existing management mechanisms and promote new opportunities for regional partnerships through innovative technologies, investment and financing to sustain the coastal and marine environment. Lastly, identifying a clear roadmap for solutions to maritime issues for the coming decade. in line with the United Nations Decade of Action for Ocean Science Agenda 2030, UN Framework Convention on Climate Change and the Post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework, as well as related frameworks. He has added that the East Asia Sea Summit is a source of pride for Cambodia to host, which aims to review the work plan that has been approved in the past and the right direction plan. This is Cambodia's first time to host the event since it became a member of the Partnership in Environmental Management for the Seas of East Asia in 1994. Prime Minister Hun Sen on Sunday has ordered relevant authorities to investigate and to crack down on the perpetrators of the encroachment of land at Tonle Sap Lake, authorising the Anti-Corruption Unit to open an investigation. Following the Prime Minister's order, the Battambang Provincial Governor has announced how many hectares of land were cleared, while the armed forces have arrested 7 people connected with the encroachments. EAC News reporter Yuri Matosko has the story.
In a meeting with Battambang Provincial Governor Sok Lo, the National Working Group led by Secretary of State for the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction, Pen Sopal, says they found 12,221 hectares of flooded forest in Battambang Province as encroachment. The encroachment found in Tonle Sap Lake Forest ranges 4 districts, around 2,200 hectares in Mon Rosay District, more than 6,000 hectares in Sankey District, 3,000 hectares in Ek Penon District, and 840 hectares in Timor Kul District. Another 21,000 hectares were damaged by wildfires. On Monday, the Battambang Provincial Armed Forces arrested 7 people in connection with a case of clearing flooded forest land at Okambod Point in Prakchipal Village, Pian Ek Kimint, Ek Penon District, and is building a case to be sent to court. Prime Minister Hun Sen's issuance of measures comes after he received a report from the President of the Royal Academy of Cambodia, Dr. Sok Tuch, regarding the encroachment and clearing of the Tonle Sap Lake. Prime Minister Hun Sen has given strong words against officials that are acting under the law. Prime Minister Hun Sen stated that those people do not deserve to be officials anymore, they better should stay in jail. Prime Minister Hun Sen has also added his party gave no sympathy for such actions coming from the officials. The National Task Force has 4 measures as part of the investigation: to identify the land, find the intruders and those behind the land grabbing, and to replant the trees at the target point or nearby the floodplain for the benefit of natural resources, fish habitats, and ecosystems. Yuri Matosko, EAC News.
Christmas and New Year are coming, and the temperatures are expected to fall in the Northern Hemisphere. Even though Cambodia is located near the equator, citizens can already feel the drop in temperature. According to a statement issued by the Ministry of Water Resources and Meteorology, starting this Wednesday, from the 1st until the 7th of December, the kingdom's temperatures are forecast to drop to a low of 15 degrees Celsius. The forecast report has also announced that abnormal winds will hit the kingdom for the next 7 days. The provinces of Mondulkiri, Ratanakiri, Priya-Vihar and Oda Minche will see the lowest minimum temperatures at 15 degrees Celsius. The ministry explained the phenomenon will be caused by the high pressure coming from China, which keeps moving downwards along with the northeast monsoon. At the central lowland areas, the temperature will vary between 17 and 28 degrees Celsius, while in the areas along the Dong Rek mountain range and the northeastern highland areas, temperatures will be from 16 to 28 degrees. The coastal regions such as Sihanoukville, Kep and Koh Kong can expect temperatures from 18 to 29. Pfizer Incorporated expects its new experimental COVID-19 antiviral drug Paxlovid to be effective against the Omicron variant of the coronavirus. Chief Executive Officer Albert Bourda said on Monday that he is confident that the drug works well for all known mutations, including the Omicron variant.
Pfizer oral treatment was designed to counter different mutations of the coronavirus. This was the claim of its CEO, Albert Bourla.
It is that was designed with that in mind, was designed with with the fact that most mutations are coming in the spike, so the mechanism of actions that we're having is not related with the spike. So that gives me very, very high level of confidence that the treatment will not be affected, our oral treatment will not be affected by this virus. When it comes to the vaccine, it remains to be seen. I don't think that the result will be the vaccines don't protect. I think the results could be, which we don't know yet, that the vaccines protect less, which means that if the vaccines protect less, it is that if we need to create a new vaccine.
He has added that they already made the first DNA template, which is the first part of the manufacturing of the development process of a new vaccine. And they have made multiple times clear that they will be able to have a vaccine in less than 100 days. Borla has added that they have already 2 vaccines built in less than 100 days.
We built one for Delta that we didn't need to use because the current vaccine is very effective against Delta. And we built one for Beta, which also we didn't have to use. So we will build one at risk right now for Omicron that will be used only in case we need it, if we see that the current one doesn't work.
He also says that they are working on follow-up drugs for the eventual case that maybe a resistance is developed.
Now for a look at the news making international headlines this Wednesday, the 1st of December.
A 15-year-old boy has killed 3 fellow school students and wounded 8 other people upon opening fire with a semi-automatic handgun at a Michigan high school on Tuesday. The boy was quickly taken into custody by the police. At least one of those wounded was a teacher at Oxford High School in Oxford, Michigan, about 55 kilometers north of Detroit. The suspect has fired multiple shots at the scene and there's multiple victims. 3 students died on the spot. The suspect, a sophomore high school, was believed to have acted alone and was arrested without resistance after firing 15 to 20 shots, the country's sheriff has reported. The whole thing lasted 5 minutes.
A huge fire broke out at a factory of construction materials in the municipality of Quilicura in the north of Santiago, Chile on Monday. A footage shows a dark pillar of toxic smoke rising into the sky and spreading out above the city amid blustery conditions. There are several elements mixed like in any industrial warehouse. Smoke from any fire is toxic. It contains particles from different decaying objects, so those warm gases and particles accumulating are toxic. A report from the Santiago International Airport Fire and Security Office has said that the plume of smoke did not affect the operation of the terminals, but that some planes flying from south to north were being diverted. The emergency also caused traffic jams and diversions in the area, which has major highways. As a precaution, municipal authorities suspended schools' activities for the day.
And the new COVID-19 variant, Omicron, was present in the Netherlands earlier than previously thought, officials have confirmed. It was identified in 2 test samples taken in the country between 19 and 23rd of November, which is before the variant was first reported by South Africa. It was previously thought that the 2 flights that arrived from South Africa on Sunday had brought the first cases of the variant to the Netherlands. At least 14 people on flights from Johannesburg and Cape Town have arrived at Amsterdam Airport on November 26, carrying the new variant, the National Institute for Public Health, RIVM, has reported. However, while the 2 new samples reveal Omicron was in the Netherlands earlier than thought, they do not predate the cases in Southern Africa. The variant was first found in the specimen collected on 9 November, according to the World Health Organization. Early evidence suggests Omicron has a higher reinfection risk. but scientists say it will take about 3 weeks before it is known how the heavily mutated variant impacts on the effectiveness of vaccines. Principal virologist of RIVM National Institute for Public Health and Environment and top expert at Center for Infectious Disease Control of Netherlands, Chantal Riosken, says they are currently collecting all data from their system and send to the lab all suspicious samples. When Europe has reported the earliest day that someone tested positive for Omicron variant, but the research they had started may show otherwise.
After the break, a look at all the latest sports news.
EAC News fully supports the Royal Government of Cambodia's preventative and administrative measures against COVID-19. But we need you to play your part in helping bring the 20 February community transmission event to an end. Wash your hands regularly, sanitize wherever possible. Keep an eye on your body temperature. Use the Stop COVID QR code and maintain a safe social distance. But above all, please, 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 wear a mask. Only together can we beat COVID-19. EAC News' audience is growing. Our YouTube channel has over 150,000 verified subscribers. To mark the milestone, we've received the Silver Creator Award from YouTube. It's given to channels with over 100,000 subscribers. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki says the award celebrates EAC News' hard work and incredible achievement. She says we've brought a unique voice and style to the world, but have also created valuable connections and built a community along the way. The next milestone we're going for is 1 million subscribers, and we'd really like that Gold Creator Award. So if you're not already a subscriber, head to YouTube and search for EAC News. Subscribers get alerts when the Daily Roundup is premiering and live events are streaming. Get all the latest breaking news and updates from Cambodia in English. The EAC News channel on YouTube. Cambodia made clear. If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me, Andrew Barnes-Roberts, and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
As the Arab Cup has kicked off in Qatar on Tuesday with a special opening ceremony, matches have officially begun for the Arab world. At Stadium 974 in Doha, the United Arab Emirates saw off Syria 2-1 in their opening Arab Cup Group B encounter.
FIFA President Gianni Infantino was at the opening ceremony of the Arab Cup in Qatar on Tuesday, with less than a year to go until the country will host the World Cup. Infantino was among authorities and spectators in the newly opened Al Bayt Stadium in Al Khor, which is one of the new stadiums that will host matches during next year's tournament. The 60,000 capacity ground was packed for its inauguration ahead of Qatar's opening match of the Arab Cup against Bahrain.
Let's celebrate football and unite the world together.
Soccer fans got a feel for what the FIFA World Cup might look like in a party atmosphere surrounding the stadium.
I mean, it's something that we've never dreamed of. So making it to the World Cup and hosting it here is it's something like a dream came true. Not only for Qatar, for the entire region, for the Arab community.
We've been actually waiting for it for a couple of years. We've been all part of the whole process for for the stadiums, for the construction. I think we've all been involved in some way or the other, in work-wise also. So we are excited.
Actually, like in all of the matches in Qatar, football connects everybody together. Expat Qatari, no problem. It's just the fun of football. Everybody comes together for the team Qatar. Yeah.
There were 4 matches on the opening day, but the peak of them was Qatar's fixture against Bahrain as the first match after the opening ceremony. It was a narrow win for Qatar, with Abdulaziz Hatim netting the winner with a second half header as the host saws off Bahrain 1-0. The Arab Cup consists of 16 teams divided into 4 groups, with the top 2 in each going through the knockout stages.
Qatar is almost ready for the World Cup, which will take place between November and December of 2022. As a rehearsal event, the Arab Cup has started in Qatar, with an opening ceremony held on Tuesday, in the presence of FIFA's president, as well as excited fans. Currently, United Arab Emirates rank 4th, while Syria holds the 2nd position at the Group B of the Arab Cup. During the first half, KO Kinedo put UAE ahead in the 24th minute with a header before Al Shali doubled their lead 6 minutes later with a neat low finish. Wad Ashlam pulled one back for Syria, but the UAE, who had Mohamed Kamaz sent off late in stoppage time, held on for victory. The tournament takes place 12 months ahead of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, the first to be held in the Middle East, and consists of 16 teams, divided into 4 groups, with the top 2 of each going through to the knockout stages. Tiger Woods does not know when he will return to the PGA Tour, following a February car accident that left him in a wheelchair for 2 months, but said on Tuesday he would love to compete in the British Open next July at St Andrews.
Woods, who was close to having his leg amputated after he lost control of his car in Los Angeles earlier this year, told reporters he was lucky to be alive. The 45-year-old admitted that both his leg and back hurt just sitting at the new conference, but he did not rule out being in the field at the old course at St Andrews in Scotland, where he won 2 of his 15 career major titles.
As far as playing at the tour level, I don't know when that's going to happen. Now, I'll play around here and there, a little hit and giggle. I can do something like that. I certainly like playing from, the USGA suggests, play forward. I really like that idea now. I don't like the tees on back, so I like play it forward. Come on, let's move it up. To see some of my shots fall out of the sky a lot shorter than they used to is a little eye-opening. But at least I'm able to do it again. That's something that for a while there it didn't look like I was going to. I'm able to participate in the sport of golf. Now, to what level, I do not know that. And, I'll keep you abreast of all of you guys abreast as progress continues to go on, whether or not I'll be out here and at what level and when.
Woods, who recently posted a video on social media showing him hitting an iron shot, acknowledged He has a long way to go in the rehab process, but said he enjoyed the challenge. Fans and supporters who are still hopeful Woods can win again have pointed out that his most recent major title at the 2019 Masters follows several surgeries to his back and knee and personal problems that convinced many his career was over. But on Tuesday, Woods accepted that the clock is ticking on his storied career and said he has no desire to resume a full playing schedule.
Now let's have a look at the weather and see what you can expect for tomorrow. And finally, a former military pilot, Sebastian Alvarez, successfully flies into an active volcano in Chile while wearing a wingsuit.
Rica is one of Chile's most active volcanoes, rising above the lake and town of the same name, 750 kilometers south of Santiago. It is also known as Ricapillian, a Mapuche word meaning Great Spirit's House. Rica, with its lava, basaltic, and acidic composition, is one of a small number worldwide known to have an active lava lake within its crater. Rainfall plus melted snow and glacier ice can cause massive lahars, mud, and debris flow. The current eruption period began in December 2014 and more recently has been characterized by summit crater incandescence, pyroclasts, lava flows, strombolian explosions, and ash emissions. The Rica volcano is one of 9 volcanoes currently monitored by the Deep Earth Carbon Degassing Project. Wingsuit pilot Sebastian Alvarez became the first person ever to fly in and out of an active volcano. The 36-year-old former military pilot performed the feat in the Rica volcano in his native Chile after a year's preparation, which involved learning all he could about the smoke columns, the air pressure, and the speed of the wind. He also had to perform numerous calculations to ensure he would be able to successfully navigate in and out of the huge crater, which has a diameter of more than 200 meters at incredibly high speed. When the conditions were perfect and the go-ahead for the jump was given, Alvarez had to ensure his flight direction and speed were just right as he jumped from the helicopter. He then performed a suit flare maneuver, allowing him to descend close to 10 meters inside the volcano before exiting at a speed of 180 kilometers per hour.
Thank you for watching the Daily Roundup here on the EAC News Channel. For more breaking news and updates, check out our website, eacnews.asia, or search EAC News on Telegram or at your favorite app store. More from the EAC News team tomorrow at 8 p.m. We'll see you then.